And why did they give him cocaine? Like that's like the worst thing.
He's
not stable, and then you give him drugs.
Scoot in a little to your left or to your right.
I'm as close as I can be. I think. All right, that work? Yeah. So like my question is then about the show: is it like, does it go in like Sons of Anarchy, for example, started off really good, and then went downhill really fast?
I don't know. There's only been 2 seasons.
There's only been 2 seasons, and there's 6 episodes in each season.
Yeah.
I will say that the first season got me interested. Mm-hmm. The second season was even better.
Okay.
I never watched Sons of Anarchy, but I feel like Peaky Blinders is kind of like... Did you ever watch Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah, it's a lot like Boardwalk Empire.
It's like Boardwalk Empire, but with an accent. Which makes everything cooler.
And a completely different era, but...
Yeah. It's so good.
It's probably one of the better shows that you've never heard of.
Right.
You know,
that's actually it's a really good way to put it.
I don't hear people talking about it very often.
We're talking about Peaky Blinders, guys. Sorry, we got off topic.
You know, I spent like the majority of both seasons wondering why they were called Peaky Blinders, and then it was explained to me that apparently they mention why in like the first episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shoot, I need
so
to
they say like first they peek you and then they blind you because you know their hats have their laser blades on. Yeah, so then like they always have their eyes like shielded, and so like I guess you know when they're gonna attack you because they'll like look at you and then swipe you.
Right.
So that's why they're called Peaky Blinders.
I remember when they actually did it, and I was like, "Oh, that's why." I thought it was.
This didn't. I
thought
didn't
they were blind is because they like.
Yeah, I didn't.
Blinded people.
I didn't connect that.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, Matt.
Yes. Hey guys, welcome back to the Not So Round Table. We're joined, of course, by Tim. We previewed his arrival last week. You guys put in questions into the comment section, and those have been placed in the helm of reasoning.
Ryan threw out all the old questions, so if your question didn't get answered,
all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Like all of them.
So thanks for coming back again.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
How was the drive?
Always a joy.
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
No.
Would you like to start us off?
Oh, yeah, I had to start it, right?
Yeah, guest starts.
This is it? That's all we got?
Yeah, I know, man. Well, you were supposed to post on Reddit, you know.
Ah, that's right.
I'm throwing you under the bus right now,
really
but, you know,
it's all right. Okay, LT... Ooh. So this guy has a question. What do you think it would take to get a standardized set of Milsim CQB Speedsoft rules, and is it an attainable goal? That's a really heavy question. I want to say that it would probably take a governing body to govern all of Airsoft, but I don't know if that is really a good thing.
Okay, so
when oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, with regard to Milsim, all of the event coordinators that host events have their own set of rules, and so that'd be very difficult to have a unified set of rules across different event coordinators or, you know, event hosts. In Speedsoft CQB, I could see more of a
standardization.
Standardization for safety, probably.
Right.
That's what I would say.
Safety rules.
I mean, they're pretty much almost is a standard. I mean, most fields are at the same FPS limits.
That's true.
The majority of them. Most of them have the same engagement rules, relatively. Yeah. But there still are some fields that are like, there'll be some CQB fields who allow 400 FPS or you know, that allow non-safety kills or bunkering or whatever, you know, surrenders, whatever you want to call it. The thing is like you couldn't standardize the Milsim rule sets because all of them are different.
Right.
You know, like they
offer. You could standardize.
You could, but then they'd all be the same event.
Exactly.
They'd all be the same event.
Be going to the same game.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the nice thing about having the different promoters is everybody has their own different idea of how to run the game. Some people want to stay out in the field for 40 hours. Yeah. Some people want to take a lunch and go barbecue. You know, like it's different flavors.
I could see that there would be a plus to having a standardized set of rules for everything. So you go to one game. These are the medic rules, and everyone has to abide by it. There's no confusion about how long you have to sit out or whatever. So I can understand the
so maybe
access.
elements of the gameplay can be standardized, like the medic rule.
Well, they didn't specify whether it was safety or something like that. Probably safety rules should probably be standardized just to make things a little bit... I mean, you would be able to set up your guns properly for wherever you go instead of for each event or each
I mean, I think the standard, though, is everybody has it at that 400 mark.
Yeah, but you say that here, but I mean, even still,
some
like,
fields out east will allow like 425.
Yeah,
or,
so it does vary a little bit.
It's an interesting question.
Not a bad question, though.
We'll see what Project N1 does.
What?
Nothing.
Shameless plug.
Yep.
Raymond Santos asked, Tim, if I'm your enemy on the airsoft field, what part of the body will you hit me?
In the face.
Where are you aiming? In the face.
In the face.
If we're all going like old school rules. rules, it's pretty much face.
I was gonna say, let's ignore playground rules.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've always shot for whatever I could see, because the point of the game is to tag the other player out, you know. And so sometimes, if you're tall, all I can see is your head over something, and so, you know, getting shot in the face is not that enjoyable. I agree, but if it's part of the game, I'm sorry, I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
Or wear face pro, like you know,
Exactly.
I mean,
That's the other flip side of that. Is every time I play Airsoft, well, not every time, but most of the time I play, I wear a full face mask no matter what. You know, even
I
if
mean,
it's a long
for
game.
for us, I mean, it's always just protecting the teeth,
Mhm.
eyes and ears,
Mhm.
and nose, I guess, sort of maybe.
Yeah, as long as you don't get messed up in the mouth.
Yeah.
Or the
I mean, like
eyeballs.
I don't get like if you get shot in the neck, yeah, sure it could hurt, but you
Yeah.
know whatever. If you get shot,
The
in
eyes is definitely a permanent thing.
Yeah,
if you get
yeah,
your
well,
eyes messed up.
and,
So.
and dental bills are expensive. So
Mhm.
I usually aim for like protected areas first. Like if I can see your head, I'll aim for like the dome of your helmet,
Mhm.
or if like I can see your body, you know, I'll aim for like the center of mass, and then like I'll give you one shot, maybe two, and if you don't call it, then we'll go. then we'll go for
that's a
different-
that's
yeah.
a whole different set of the
Right.
rules.
We're gonna
set there.
assume that we're playing against somebody who's honest.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Then once you don't call your hits, you're getting shot in the neck
Right.
and the
Sensitive
ear.
areas.
and-
But yeah, I'll shoot wherever I can see that will progress the game the fastest. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah.
Depends how you expose yourself.
Wouldn't you agree that some players like get too angry when they get shot somewhere?
I would agree that. I
Like,
would agree with that.
You can't control where you get shot. If you get shot in the ear and you're like, oh, why did you shoot me in the ear? It's like, I don't think that person did it
Yeah.
on purpose. Just
And plus,
happens.
I mean, airsoft guns are not that accurate. you
No,
know?
they're not.
They're not that accurate, especially the further out you get. So you
Yeah.
could accidentally shoot someone.
Yeah,
in the
like
ear.
20 yards, you're not going to be able to consistently.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. My guns are laser beams.
Whatever, Mr. Sub MOA here.
Yeah, I don't think he knows what MOA means.
Yeah, minutes of angle.
Oh, damn.
That's right. All right.
The real gun guys are trying to trump him.
Xsoft asks, do you guys think MOSFET or computer-controlled AEGs will become the new standard? If so, when? Or do you think that HPA will take over? And in parentheses, hopefully it doesn't. So this is obviously not a Polar Star user.
Or a jack user.
Or a jack user,
Or,
any other
V12
HPA system
or
user.
Wolverine. The list goes on and on of HPA guns. Since Crytek has the...
We do have a built-in MOSFET in
You were one of the first to do that consistently across
one
the
of the
board.
yeah,
one of the...
we weren't the first ones, but we do put a MOSFET in our guns. It does benefit the gun, especially to use a LiPoly if you're using a LiPoly battery. Whether it becomes the standard, I can't speak for other companies, but obviously they're in all of our guns. Even the Alpha series is our more entry-level product line. Still has the MOSFET in it, so I think that MOSFETs are here to stay. Whether they'll be more popular than HPA, it's kind of
Or more programmable, like yours is nice because it's kind of it's
simple.
Ours
is
doesn't
simple,
require
yeah.
any changes or programming or anything. One of the points that was touched on was, do you think programmable AEGs will become more popular? Having adjustable settings.
I
whether
think
that's-
so, because I know that you can do similar types of adjustments to your FPS and your rate of fire with HPA systems, but to me, the big burden is always that tank is going to be there.
Yeah.
And so you can have a more realistic looking gun that's a little more mobile with an AEG where everything's just contained into the gun.
But I mean, they are making improvements of like whether they have tanks in the stocks and stuff like that.
I have seen those.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things though. It's just like it's only going to last for so long.
Yeah.
And I think maybe a lot of people went to HPA because they were so frustrated by gearbox reliability.
Uh-huh.
And I think with guns, like, I mean, Crytek's are reliable. Other guns are, there's tons of guns on the market that are now really reliable out of the box. So, I mean, I would say that maybe AEGs kind of make more of a comeback in that regard because they realized, oh, they're reliable.
Yeah, I think it probably depends on the user too. I mean, a lot of guys, it's really easy to push the envelope on rate of fire with an HPA gun.
Oh, yeah.
Because it can shoot so much faster, there's less moving parts, and so it's a lot easier to get that, I don't know, like 80 BBs a second or something out of it,
Yeah.
which is entirely necessary.
Yeah. Go ahead, Matt.
That was mine.
That was yours.
Back in my day, we didn't have any rate of fire.
Back in my day,
We could shoot that if,
We
your
didn't
if
have
your
all
gun
the
could do
sector
that.
I mean,
gears.
yeah,
we shaved
those
teeth.
old school rules like that, it was all about the rate of fire with AEGs. And you know what? If you could get it to shoot 70 and not break, then more power to you.
I never had a gun that shot that fast. I used a 9.6 battery for a long time when I first started playing, and that was fast.
Do you remember like the big ass?
Yeah, those big ones, dude.
4,000
You
million.
had to like tape them outside the
Yeah,
stock.
there was no stock it would fit in, but at least you wouldn't have to charge your battery for like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all night NiCads.
Seriously. KRISS J. That's his name. There's like 4 U's there.
J5.
Chris J. No, that was 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That's
bad.
where I keep messing up.
Yeah.
The time. Okay.
Will we ever move away from BBs as ammo? Okay, I'm really glad this topic came up because I really want to do this. With 3D printing on the way, is it plausible that we might start seeing projectiles take advantage of rifling to spin the same way as a bullet does, giving far better range and accuracy than the traditional hop-up system? I want to do this so bad.
Do you think it would work, though, with a plastic pellet?
Yes, it would. And I've done a little bit of math as far as, you know, the velocity that you would need and, you know, the dope that you would have to put on your shot. And it's plausible. Whether it's safe for airsoft is,
I was about
the
to
other
say,
question.
Okay, so that's the second question then.
I think that
what's the velocity?
I think that it could be done with reasonable sniper rifle velocities between like 5 and 600 FPS with a .20 gram projectile. But I know a huge hindrance is the cost to manufacture the ammo. It's a lot of money.
And then you've got to design magazines that will feed it and pop up.
That's the easy part. Well, it's kind of the easy part because those things already exist just for a round projectile. But manufacturing ammo like this for airsoft, unless people pick it up right away and immediately buy it, it's not feasible.
But like you said, it can only be used for higher FPS platforms.
It probably should.
You'd almost like go with the pellet gun route almost,
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
It almost should be used as a sniper round. But if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. So we were talking about MOA earlier. If you can get a sniper rifle airsoft gun to shoot even just 5 MOA, which is really terrible for a gun.
Yeah.
But an airsoft gun, there's no way they could do that at 100 yards.
No.
So if you were able to achieve that type of accuracy, I
You'd
think
have
that
a true sniper rifle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could really pinpoint and shoot one round to shoot somebody at 100 yards versus maybe a burst of like 3 or 4 BBs and probably one of them would hit.
Then the difficulty becomes, well, then everyone wants to just be a sniper, and then
Everybody
you just have
already
games where you
does.
just
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody does, man.
Yeah,
they get
true.
done playing Call of Duty, they watch Novich's videos, and like, oh man, I want to get a sniper
Yeah,
rifle.
exactly. I mean, I think maybe like half of Insert's questions are always sniper related of some kind.
But imagine somebody's peeking around a corner and they leave their elbow exposed.
And
You
you're
could
able-
feasibly hit that on your first shot, a cold bore shot, versus maybe just a couple of BBs.
So
that
then
might
if
give away
the
your
barrel was
position.
rifled, would you then probably part of the projectile then would maybe
stay in the barrel because it's
right?
plastic.
Well, it would have to.
Yeah, because I mean that's how
would
pellet
be
gun
it
works.
would be more like a gun than,
Yeah.
than an
So you have to
air gun.
cleaning it often, like every
Yeah,
like
exactly.
10 shots.
Maybe.
Which is, maybe part of, if you want to do that, that becomes,
yeah, a hindrance on it almost. But that it would be interesting to see if it's possible for it to work at that FPS.
I mean, the science
That'd be
is already
cool.
there. Obviously,
Yeah.
real guns already do it.
Yes, but
So it's just a matter of making it safe and playable and affordable.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting question though. Okay, that's a good question. Sort of. A Clawwhiter 12. Yeah, that's his name. Is there any chance of the KWA KRISS Vector coming back, or the gas blowback KRISS Vector coming back?
No.
No, that's what I
No
think.
chance.
No chance. I mean, does Crytek have his own designs to do a gas blowback vector in the future, or no?
Gas is not on the table right now.
Got it.
Gas is not on the table, but the Vector is coming back. So I
Right.
guess we might as well talk about the Vector now, since this is the first question come up about it. So the Vector we announced at SHOT Show, you guys did an awesome video at MGV for it. We're expecting it later this year, but
So
don't expect
Christmas.
it. Don't expect it any time before December.
So basically,
Very late this year.
so you're telling people to not spend their Christmas money till after Christmas. Is what
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
doing right now.
maybe at Christmas time you get a lot of gift cards.
Yeah.
That could be a really good time. So to you, it'll be free, right? Whenever you do decide to buy it, if you buy it with all the gift cards that people give you. So don't expect it any sooner than December. There hasn't been any, I can't really release any other information about it other than what you guys talked about at SHOT Show.
and that it's coming.
It is coming. As far as
No
price,
Yeah, that's what the
to
big
be-
thing.
no.
Everybody wants to know price.
to be determined on the price. What's the other question people are asking? Compatibility with parts. It will be compatible with certain gearbox components that are already on the market.
Okay.
So it's not going to be completely proprietary, but of course it's a very unique gun. We have to build
it'll have
a
a
new system
proprietary
for it.
gearbox for sure.
Yeah, but certain things will be compatible, such as the piston. It's a huge one.
Yeah.
The
Gears,
Exactly. So
springs.
those type of things will be compatible with it. Battery usage, you're going to have to use an 11-1 light poly. it's a very constricted as far as battery space goes. So
That's fine. You know, when we looked at it at SHOT Show,
Uh-huh.
you know, originally I thought, like, given the size of the platform, the battery storage was just going to be awful on it. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't going to fit anything, you know, worthwhile.
Mhm.
And then actually seeing it and looking at how the whole system goes together and how your battery compartment is able to fit the size battery that you do, you're really not giving up that much.
yeah, you can fit an 11.1, 1,000, maybe 1,200 milliamp
Right.
battery in there. So you can get a decent battery.
And that's what most people are probably already using in their buffer tubes
Exactly.
these days anyway.
Exactly.
I mean,
And, you know, for anybody that's just like, oh, that's just tiny, it's like, well, you're shoving it in your buffer tube anyway, or you're
Yeah.
putting it along the top side of your AK, you know,
Yeah.
storage compartment. So it's really not that big of a hindrance.
Yeah, but as far as the price, to be determined on that. But as far as we know right now, this is all the info I can give you.
Okay, fine.
so this year.
This year.
Can you promise
Okay,
this
no,
year?
I can't promise this. So let me clarify.
There we go.
This year is our
That's the
target.
answer. I was target.
This is the
target-
targeted
target
time,
release
but don't
date
expect
is
it
this
in time
year.
before December.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's a safe answer.
Yeah.
I was about to say you got some.
Yeah, I don't want to give you a hard and fast date here because December or something's gonna roll around. Tim, where is it?
Yeah, you promised. You promised.
You promised on insert, and insert is law.
Matt's got a
Right,
good
Ryan?
one. He's
Okay.